Hi, it's Mental Health Awareness Month, and actually the theme for this global movement is loneliness. And loneliness is a bit of a taboo subject in a way. No, mostly people don't want to admit to being lonely. We think it's okay to talk about it in relation to someone else. So, elderly people are lonely, we can admit to that. Or, youngsters leaving school and going to university, we can be concerned about whether they'll get lonely. However, actually saying things about ourselves who are good, functioning people, it's quite difficult to say that. And I thought I would do it from an angle actually that most people will recognize, I think, and that is the angle of not fitting in. In all the work I've done over the years, both in coaching and in training, I have met so many people who have said at some point quietly to me, I never feel like I fit into ... group. I think it's a universal experience. I mean, I'm not suggesting that we all feel it all of the time. Some people feel it more than others, but I think everybody to some extent feels that. And it could be in the workplace. I hear that in the workplace where people feel as though everybody else seems to get on. Maybe they go to lunch, or they're talking about social events, or they're talking about things that have happened some time ago. And, this person doesn't feel quite part of that. And interestingly, I think that's something that's very prominent at the moment, because a lot of people, a lot of you have joined your workplace during the working from home. And now it's a case of meeting people in person and kind of establishing where you sit with that. So I think there can be workplace things, there can be friendship things. I think however much people feel as though they're part of a friendship group, there'll be times where perhaps they don't feel like they're quite gelling. Maybe everybody else has got different kind of aspirations, or they're all talking about a particular sport, or they're talking about a particular event that they really enjoyed or they're looking forward to. And maybe you in that circumstances just don't connect. There can be things about parenting, lots of things about parenting, about not getting it right or doing it different from everybody else, or, not feeling part of it if you're a working parent and so on. And even in families, people feeling like, well, everybody else thinks this and I don't, and so on. So there can be many, many situations. They're just some I've raised in terms of not feeling like you fit in. So this is a topic, we could spend a lot of time on, but I thought I'd just do a couple of kind of practical things really around that. The first is check out the story that you're telling yourself. Very often when we get ourselves in a little bit of a rut of a story, particularly if it's a negative story, we can build and build and build without questioning. So check that out for yourself. Now, sometimes when we're in the throes of feeling not part of something, and we're feeling, mixed emotions going on, that's not the ideal time to be objective. But perhaps stepping back from the situation and saying, hang on, was that really happening? Was I making that more than it is? Just in terms of being objective about the situation. And then thinking about, is there anything you would want to do differently? Now, there are situations where it's very deliberate exclusion, and I'm not dismissing those at all. I'm talking more about those situations where, am I thinking this, whatever? Is there anything you might want to do differently? So the truth is, when we get ourselves into a position of being self-conscious, and I've done it, definitely, we give off that vibe. And actually just paying attention to some normal stuff around our social skills, which probably come easy to us in normal circumstances, but under stress or when we get ourselves in a bit of a pickle, they're less easily accessible. So thinking about your body language, whether physically you're making yourself in or outside of a group, thinking about your facial expressions, thinking about your eye contact, which makes an enormous difference in terms of our connection. And then just practically, getting out of our heads, asking people questions, showing good listening skills, showing some empathy, which undoubtedly you'll be good at. And we are, except when we get caught up in our own stuff. So, just some practical stuff around that. Experiment, I think, might be the way to look at it. Then you find out, is it me, or is this the situation? And then I think on a wider scale, which I could literally run a workshop on right now, is the thing about self-acceptance. Once we start the critical voice, it is easy to get ourselves blaming ourselves for whatever. And I think we need to do the self-acceptance. We need to put ourselves into any situation as ourselves, our authentic selves. And we'll only do that when we accept ourselves, warts and all. None of us are perfect. So taking some time out to give yourself credit for what you do offer a situation, for your strengths, your experiences, giving yourselves that leeway of, I'm a human being. I have emotions. I'm not going to be perfect in every situation, but I'm pretty good. So working on, is this story true? And is there anything I'd want to do about it? And on the other hand, working on accepting yourself and giving yourself credit for being who you are. Let's meet again soon. Take care.